Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is an update video from my lining check today on my second frozen embryo transfer. If you're new here, my name is Kaitlyn. I'm on a journey to becoming a single mom by choice, and I've been documenting everything on my fertility journey so far. And just to backtrack even further, last year I had 3 IUIs that were obviously unsuccessful. And then I took a little bit of a pause, did another egg retrieval to create embryos with donor sperm, and paused again due to life changes, relationships, work. And then in June, I did my very first frozen embryo transfer with a modified natural cycle using letrozole, a trigger shot, and progesterone suppositories, which ultimately ended in a chemical pregnancy. Took a month off. I did 2 weeks of doxycycline to clear out any inflammation, low-grade endometriosis, and just any bacteria that could be in my body and my uterus that we did not know about. And now I am in cycle number 2. So this cycle, I'm doing a fully medicated cycle, and we are using estrogen, which is an injectable estrogen. It is intramuscular, so I've been doing that every 3 days. And if you haven't seen the last video, go back and watch that one. I do the injection on the video, and I have to say it wasn't fun, but it wasn't that bad, and it's slowly getting easier every night. Perfect timing to add in the progesterone. And I also added in baby aspirin this cycle. So that is to help with any clotting and just overall blood flow. So that's kind of where we have been at from now. I will say hormones are crazy. I was having a very heavy period, and probably because of the baby aspirin, started my estrogen, and within 12 hours period just stopped. So hormones are wild. And then today is cycle day 18, and I went in for my lining check. And I'm happy to say she's thick. She is a thick lining. So it's probably the thickest lining I've had. And it measured at 13.3 millimeters. So very thick. I know they like it between 7 and 14 millimeters. It's on the thicker side of things, but it was the trilaminar, whatever that word is. So it looked great. And nothing new to report. So everything went really, really well. Hormones and blood work came back normal, and I got the green light to start progesterone. So on Sunday, I will start my progesterone and oil injections. That's also an intramuscular injection for those of you that are not familiar with it. And then on Friday, the 15th, I will actually have my transfer. So very excited. I'm feeling very calm. I'm feeling very relaxed with this cycle. I have a lot of energy. We'll talk a little bit more about symptoms, side effects here later on in the video, but wanted to give you an update as to where I'm at right now. Fun fact, I didn't know this, but with the progesterone and oil, you can't go more than 24 hours without an injection. So I am scheduled to start at 7 a.m. on Sunday morning. Ideally, I would like to do my injections at night, just because I hear kind of warming the oil a little bit and, putting a heating pad on and then massaging it out after. It can really help with the knots and just the overall injections and the pain of it. So I really ultimately would like to do it at night because I feel like I have more time. I won't be rushing to work. It won't interfere with my workouts, my days off. I like to be, sleep in a little bit, then go for a later workout. And I just feel like a nighttime injection cramps my style less, if you will. I mean, I could be wrong, because 8 o'clock is not really that late, and I'm kind of thinking around 8-ish at night, just because that's when I'm typically home. But when I do want to go out and do something, I either need to be home or I need to bring it with me. So that could be a little bit of a hassle. So I'm still trying to work through if I'm going to do nighttime injections or morning. But my point to this is if I start my progesterone at 7 a.m. as prescribed on Sunday morning, which I have to do on the dot, then if I want to switch to nighttime progesterone, I'll have to do a second progesterone and oil injection that night around the time that I would typically do it normally. The other piece of this is Sunday is my next my next estrogen injection. You following me? So I potentially get the honor of not doing 1, not 2, but 3 intramuscular injections on Sunday night, or Sunday throughout the day, 1 in the morning, 2 at night. I'll let that sink in. 3. I can do hard things. So that's kind of where we're at. I am excited, like I said, to get started. And I've been taking this cycle in small doses and like small sections to like mentally not get overwhelmed. And everyone's different, but I'm pretty good at compartmentalizing things in my mind. I always have been. So this first half of the cycle, I've been literally counting down estrogen shots until my lining check. Once I get there, cool. We take that next step. Lining check went great. Check, done. What's the next thing? Now I have 5, 6 progesterone shots until I get to my transfer. So countdown is on for progesterone shots until transfer. And then I will have 10 days more of progesterone and estrogen until my beta. And if my beta comes back positive, fingers crossed, or when it comes back positive, we're going to speak it into existence, I will be continuing on the estrogen and the progesterone until I'm 10 weeks pregnant. But at that point, I feel like I'm doing it for a reason, right? I'm pregnant, I'm excited, I'm doing this for baby. If I'm not pregnant, I get to stop, get my period, start again to have some testing done. But we're not even going to think along those lines, but I'm just taking it in small chunks is my point. So got to the lining check, let's get to the transfer. After transfer, let's get to beta. From beta, let's get to the next thing. So I'm just taking it in small chunks because that's how I'm able to stay positive and take it in manageable chunks, if you will. Now, wanted to talk a little bit about side effects and symptoms of taking the estrogen and this medicated cycle that I did not have in the modified natural cycle as much. So trigger warning. I'm going to be talking a little bit about weight, body image, and eating disorders and some of the struggles that I've been having. So if that is not something you want to watch, I totally respect that. But I did feel like I wanted to talk about it. I was on the fence, but I think I'm not alone in feeling the way that I feel. We all have different challenges. We've all had different backgrounds, and this process is not easy, and it's not easy on our bodies, and I don't think it's talked about enough. And it is all going to be worth it in the end, but the challenges are real, mentally and physically, so I think it's important for us to talk about it. So, starting off with the positive symptoms and side effects, I have a ton of energy. I don't know if it's the estrogen, but I feel great. I have had a lot of energy in the gym. I actually just joined Lifetime. I've been working out hard. I feel great. And obviously I'll start tailoring that back as I get closer to the transfer and after the transfer, doing some more yoga and walking and lighter weights, but it's been feeling really good to get back in the gym and go hard again. And also I have been sleeping really good. I don't know, again, if it's just I'm at peace. I've been doing acupuncture every week as well, so that's could be helping sleep, but I've never really had a problem sleeping, but it's just been like very consistent, very good sleep. Now to the more triggering, I wouldn't say challenges, well, yeah, challenging side effects. So if you don't know, I was a cheerleader my whole life, and that environment can be very toxic and very hard, based on, tiny uniforms. You have to be small, you have to look a certain way. So I have struggled with body image and my relationship with food for a very, very long time. I can think back to a time when I was in 8th grade and was told by a coach that I would never amount to anything or be good at anything because I had a snack after school before I started a 5-hour practice. So my relationship with food and body image has always been a bit of a challenge. It is something that I've worked through, but I do work through it constantly on a day-to-day basis. I suffered from an eating disorder in high school that kind of never really was talked about. I don't even know that my family even knows. It's something that I kind of worked through on my own and realized just how much of a disordered eating habits I had in high school. And it's been, I don't want to say a struggle in my adult life, but it's definitely been something that I work through every day, right? And this process with all of the hormones that you're putting into your body is changing, and it's changing for a purpose, right? And I know that it will be so worth it, but it doesn't make the challenges so much easier, right? Like there's still challenges that I'm working through. So with the egg retrievals, like you're pumping your body full of hormones and you're bloated and things like that. This just feels very long, and the estrogen has definitely made my body change. I've put on about 5 pounds since starting the estrogen, and my boobs have like doubled in size. My shirts barely fit. A girlfriend of mine, we went out to dinner the other night. She's like, "When did you get boobs?" They just like showed up overnight. So my boobs have gotten a lot bigger. I've put on about 5-ish pounds. And like I said, I've been working out really hard. I've been eating super clean and trying to be as healthy as I can going into this cycle. But the scale just keeps going up, and my pants don't fit and my clothes don't fit. And, I'm carrying weight in different ways that I never imagined. I would love to go sit in a sauna and sweat it out and push myself hard in the gym. And those are things that I just can't do right now. And that has been a struggle for me mentally. And like I said, I know it will all be worth it in the end. But when I let my mind go to the fact that, oh my gosh, if this doesn't work, then I have to not just do this again for another cycle, but we're going to do another medicated cycle to do like an ERA and some other testing where I'm putting more of these hormones in my body just to figure out what's going wrong. And then again to try again. And it's just like, it's very overwhelming for me, because if I end up pregnant, fine. I know my body's going to continue to change, but I know it's for a purpose, and I'm growing a human being that is going to be my baby one day. And if I don't end up pregnant, I'm like, what's the point? And then it's, do I take a break and like get myself into shape that I want to be in and feel good about myself again and all of those things? But I also know that time is everything, and I have been on this journey for like a year and a half now, and I'm ready to be pregnant, and I'm ready to get my baby here. So, yeah, I've talked to some people that maybe have had some substantial weight loss and now struggling with their bodies changing again for this process, or someone like me who didn't eat for a long time and was trying to be as skinny as possible, and finally got to a point where I was accepting my body for being strong and, everything that was able to do. And now it's changing again. And again, it's for a purpose. It's to do something amazing, like build a whole human being. But it doesn't take away the fact that it's hard. So I just wanted to put that out there, that it is okay if you're feeling that way. It doesn't make you not committed to the process. It doesn't make you, it's okay if you're feeling that way, because I do too. And like I've said from the beginning, you can do hard things, and this is hard, and this is mentally challenging. And I know that if I have a daughter, I am going to do things differently to hopefully help her love herself and not go through the same things that I went through. And again, like some of this is all happened behind closed doors, and like my family doesn't even know that I went through this in high school. But that has been probably the hardest part of this process for me this cycle and this go around, is with the estrogen, I'm noticing huge changes in my body, and that has been hard to swallow. But overall, I feel good. So I just keep going back to, I feel strong, I feel healthy, I feel ready, I have a sense of calmness about me. I am living in the moment completely with this cycle, and I am so grateful for that, and I'm so grateful for the friends and family that I have around me supporting me, and I really feel like this is my cycle. I really feel like this is my cycle. I feel like things are lining up. I feel like everything is so much more controlled. I feel like the timing works out perfectly with work, with having off the day before and the day of my transfer to just relax and be in the moment and take care of myself and go to acupuncture and treat myself to a nice lunch. And I am going to go buy myself flowers, and I'm going to do my whole thing. And I am just really looking forward to telling my family in person the results, and I'm hoping that it's a positive. But this was a lot longer video than I anticipated it being. I really just wanted to give you an update on my lining, but I thought it was also important to talk about the symptoms and, you know, some of the struggles that I've been going through, because I don't think I'm the only one going through it. And I just wanted to let everyone know that it's okay. And if you want to reach out in the comments or separately, you know, you can find me on Instagram as well. But thank you guys for watching, and I will keep you updated next week when I go for my embryo transfer. See you then. Bye.